Hi there, welcome to Subpar Stitches. My name is Hillary and this is my Flosstube channel. So today I feel like it's going to be just a little bit shorter of an episode because I didn't get a lot of whips in. I was really working on just a few pretty religiously, and then I just had a lot of Christmas holiday type stuff in the interim, so I didn't have as much time. Also, I knit a pair of socks and I was really hype about that. So maybe I'll show you that as well. But yeah, so I've been just really busy. However, this is going to be the last floss tube of this year. And then next year, first floss tube, I can guarantee you I'm going to have so much to show you because after the 22nd, I'm filming this on the 21st. After the 22nd, I'm off work until the 4th because my office just closes. And so all I'm going to do for however many days that is, I'm just going to stitch and stitch and stitch and stitch and knit some socks and stitch. And that's it. So I'm really looking forward to that. I'm just trying out new filming locations as well. This is obviously, I don't think this is going to work because the computer screen is so bright. How do YouTubers have their computers in the frame and it's not a bright image? I don't know. So just please ignore that. But yeah, this is the last video I have to film today, and then I'm gonna go cross stitch. So let's jump into it. First of all, FFOs. All right, I have one, but kind of 9. And I don't have most of them with me because it was a gift. So if you guys remember, I had been showing you as I finished these, I was calling them the Star Trek magnets. I got this pattern from somebody on DeviantArt, just some cute pixel art of the Next Generation characters. And I was stitching them on some plastic canvas with the intention of turning them into magnets. And at first I was gonna give them to my dad, but I was like, does my dad care about magnets? Does he really? I don't think he does. My dad really likes Next Generation. We watched it together when I was growing up, but I also have a good friend who I met on Instagram through my other channel because we were both really into nail polish, and she became a really good friend, like a real life friend, and she also loves the Next Generation. So I decided I would stitch them for her instead, and I just sent it off in the mail, and I almost didn't remember to take pictures, so I'm glad I did, but I will show you guys. Here are the magnets, and there are 8 characters. I chose all the colors myself. There was no called for or anything. Then I cut them out and I whip stitched around them with Blanc, and then I have one here because I screwed up the first Picard. I didn't do the red part right, and then I was just, I don't know, I made him twice. So this one I'll give to my dad. I'll give my dad the one Picard, but I made everybody else and gave them to my friend. And so on the back I just used that sticky felt that I got off of Amazon, and then I hot glued a ceramic magnet, and I feel like they turned out pretty cute. My favorites are probably LaForge and Worf, solely because I used metallic thread on them. So LaForge for his glasses because he's blind. So he wears these special glasses so that he can see because, it's the future, and I guess we have that now. I use metallic threads because they're metal glasses, and I was like, this looks so cool. And then for Worf, he wears this kind of bandolier type thing, and it's super shiny. I don't know if it's chainmail or whatever. I just used 2 different kind of silver metallics that I had, and they kind of gave it some texture, and I was really happy with that. But they're so cute. I probably will stitch these again in the future. I do have some original series ones patterns from that same designer, and I will be stitching those for myself because I'm a TOS girly. I love Kirk and Spock, so I'll probably make them. I have a Gorn. I'll probably make Bones, all of them. But yeah, and just in case you don't know, I do try to link every pattern that I can down in the description in order of me speaking about them. So chronological order, Hillary. So if there's anything that you're interested in, and you're like, I want to know what the pattern is or where I can get it, I do try to link them down below. So those were my FFOs, and I gotta tell you, whip stitching around takes forever. And also cutting them out takes forever, because it's like, you gotta be so careful, because otherwise you're gonna accidentally ruin one. So yeah, that took me a bajillion years to do, but I'm glad that they're done. Oh, and one other thing. So the felt that I used on the back of them, I wish I had taken pictures, but it corresponds to their uniform color. So on the 3 red shirts, I used this kind of like red maroon felt. On the yellow shirts, I used a yellow felt. On the blue shirt, blue felt. And then on Wesley Crusher, I used a gray. So I thought that was fun. And then I have a couple of finished objects, FOs, to show you. So first of all, I finished Enchanted Forest 3. I love these. These are by Una Buena Piezza, and these are stitched on just like 14 count black. I think it's RTO Ada. And I subbed out the white, or like, it's kind of like, I think it's this same color that is the cloche, was also the ghosts, I'm pretty sure, but I subbed it out for the DMC glow in the dark. And I tried so hard to take pictures of them glowing to show you guys. I don't know how to take pictures of things that are glowing in the dark. I feel like I'm not very good at that. So I couldn't, but they glow. I promise you they glow. And my original plan was, I had bought this triptych frame. I had even looked at the measurements of what this was supposed to be, so that when I bought the frame, it would be fine. It wasn't fine. I don't know if I misread the measurements or misremembered them when I was buying the frame, but the frame doesn't fit this biggest one. So back to the drawing board. I'll use that frame for something else, but I really liked this one. The details on the mushroom here, just this really long back stitch, and the pattern called for like 2-stranded back stitch, which I love 2-stranded back stitch because I can do a loop start. But yeah, this one, I started this a few months ago, and I just kind of put it down. I got kind of bored. You know, I wanted to do something else. Not that I don't love the pattern, but then I was just like, it's like 1,300 stitches away from being done. Let's get it done. So I finished this, and then because I had screwed up on this one, the ghost, it wasn't as full as it should have been. I pulled it all out and restitched the ghost as well. Like, I only pulled out the ghost, not everything else. And what had happened was, so, I mean, you know how DMC is 6 strands. This is like a light effects thread. And for some reason, even though it's 6 strands, it's also 12 strands, because each one strand kind of falls apart into 2 strands. So I had made a mistake, and I had just used the 1/2 of the one strand. So this one wasn't very full, and I realized what I had done. So I just pulled that out. Luckily, it was not too difficult to stitch that up really quick. And then here is the first one that I did. So this was Enchanted Forest 1, Enchanted Forest 2, and Enchanted Forest 3. And they're so cute. I love them. I don't know which one is my favorite. I think I like the itty bitty one, just because I really like the purple crystals. And I think that these two probably like go together more color wise, because this pop of purple is kind of like out of Crazy Pop. But I still really like them all 3 as a set. So I need to figure out how I can frame those up. And then my other FOs were just 2 more of the Creepy Christmas Ornament Sal by Lola Crow Cross Stitch. These are stitched on 36 count Elephant Run, which was dyed by Fox and Rabbit. This is a linen. Here is, I think I probably showed you guys some progress on this last time, but I finished this. Please do not acknowledge that this lamplight is like wonky. I don't know what I did there. I don't know what it was about this one, but I didn't enjoy stitching this one as much as some of the other ones. I don't know if it was just like the design wasn't my thing, but I really didn't like doing the back stitching in the wheels, because I feel like I warped my fabric a little bit. I'm also just not a horse girly, so like horses are fine, but this was like, I was just kind of like, whatever. I like the whole set cohesively though. And then they dropped, I'm pretty sure this is called like the Haunted Gazebo or something like that. Let me look. No, it's the Creepy Crawly Gazebo. And I love bugs. So this one was right up my alley. I finished this one last night. And as you can see, we've got like a little backstitched spider and some spider webs. This one was a really quick one to stitch because there's a lot of like blocked color in it, so it made it really easy. I really like this one. I think there's one left because this was number 5, so the next one will come out tomorrow when I'm filming this, but yesterday from when I've posted this. So I'm excited to see what the last one will be. I will FFO them when I have all 6 of them complete because I want to just do them all at once so that it's like a consistent finish. So those were the next 2 in the Creepy Christmas Village Ornament Sal. And I guess that takes us right into whips. So I only have 3 whips, and that's because I was finishing those things. So the first whip is going to be my Hobbit Stitch Your Own Adventure Sal, and I was thinking I was going to get this done by the first of the year so that I would be able to get right into the sal. Now I'm seeing that that is not the case, but that's okay. Like, I'm not too bent out of shape about it, but I don't remember where I was when you guys last saw it, but I have almost finished the first portion of my Hobbit hole. So I just have a little bit more fill-in on the brick, and then I can come in and put that window in. And there were a lot of people who were using like some satiny finished threads for the window, and it looked really cool, so I'm copying them. And then I do have to do the grass. I think I hadn't done the fence the last time you saw, so I put the fence in there. And then yeah, I do have to backstitch. I'm going to say this every single time, but I backstitch at the end. I wait till I'm done because I don't want to mess up the backstitching, like as I'm putting in the hoop and stuff. But yeah, it's super duper cute. And oh yeah, the fabric. It's 28 count San Lugana by Picture This Plus, and I'm stitching 2/1. I don't like stitching on 14 count, but stitching on 28 count, I don't know. There's something about it. But it's really cute and I love it. So I'm doing stone, and then my middle piece is going to be stone, and then my third piece is going to be like overrun by greenery, like moss. So I wanted to finish it before the end of the year, but I've just got so many other things I want to work on too. But I feel like I've made good progress. And again, like if you want to join this, I do have it linked down below. The thing about this Facebook group's sals is once they're over, the patterns get removed and you can't purchase them. Like the guy doesn't sell them at all. So if you want them, even if you're like, I can't stitch it right now, I want to stitch it later, make sure you go over there and download it because you don't want to miss out. It's clear that they've put so much effort into this. My second whip was just a little bit more car stitching, and this was the Mothman Believes in You by Stitch Sprout, which I'm stitching on this really fun fabric that I dyed myself. It's just an 18 count white Aida that oh, there's a needle in this, that I stitched, or I dyed with Rit dye. And this is the Stitch Sprout pattern. I can't remember if I said that. And I'm stitching it with sulky thread. And so far so good. I did a little bit more here, and then I was like, I need to fill in this wing so that it's like, I don't know, all the way filled in. I still haven't started his head, so he looks kind of crazy. I need to get his head. There's a border, and it'll say Mothman Believes in You, and then his eyes are red. And I've been saving this for stitching in the car because I am a bad passenger, and I get a lot of anxiety on the road, and I don't like not being in control. So I've decided to figure out how to let go a little bit. And so what I have done is I've told my boyfriend, okay, you can drive. His car is a stick shift, which I don't know how to drive, which he's going to teach me. We haven't had time. But his car's a stick shift. And whenever we go to my parents, they live like 90 minutes away. I have been bringing this, And so it's like, I don't have the option to take over, because sometimes when we're driving my truck, I'm like, pull over, I gotta drive. Like, I can't let you drive anymore. I have to drive. I can't do that in his car. So I have to bring something to focus my whole attention on. And it's been pretty good. I've been getting better at him driving even when I'm not cross stitching. I know that sounds really crazy. I didn't used to be like this, and then one year, so I wasn't in an accident, I wasn't in anything crazy like that, but one year suddenly I just couldn't be a passenger anymore. I don't know what it was. But yeah, I have some more car stitching time coming up. On Christmas Eve, we're gonna go back to my hometown and visit my grandparents and my parents, and like I said, it's like a 90-minute drive. So I will stitch this on the way there. It'll be too dark to stitch it on the way back because it gets dark so quickly. But, you know, we'll see some more progress in that. And then pretty soon that's going to be filled in. And then this is probably going to be a pain to car stitch, because I just feel like fill in is really the easiest thing for me to do in the car. Like counting and stuff like that, it's too difficult because it's so bumpy. So I'll have to not stitch this in the car anymore, and I'll have to find a new fill-in project to stitch in the car. And then my last project is Long Dog. Oh, I was looking for these scissors. They've been in this bag the whole time. These are the scissors that I leave next to my couch spot. I wondered where those went. This is Pavane for These Times by Long Dog Samplers, and this is stitched on a Springfield Lugana 28 count in the color Sage. So here is where I'm at right now. And I added just some of the like floral stuff right here. This is page 2. I'm chugging along, I would say. It's a real, like I said, 28 count is really easy for me to stitch on, and I like it. So look at this margin, Hillary, like, get your life together. What was that? What were you thinking? So yeah, I definitely want to put more work into this, which I'll talk more about in plans. But this is just something that I pick up here and there, work on for a little bit, and then I put it away. And then I remember that I really want to finish it, because I don't want to start another Long Dog until I finish this Long Dog, because the Long Dog samplers are large and there's a lot of stitching. And I don't know. But I also just want to finish a big project, because I finish a lot of littler stuff, but I feel like I should finish something big too, right? Like I feel like I should put some of the effort into some of my big stitches. So yeah, we'll talk more about that in just a minute here. I didn't have any new starts because I was so busy focusing on like all this stuff. I will definitely have some new starts over. I don't know if I'm going to do 12 by 12. I want to. I could, but I don't know what our New Year's Eve plans are. So I don't want to tell my boyfriend, like, sorry, I can't go out with you because I'm cross-stitching for 12 hours. I don't know if he would love that. But I could do it on a different day while he's at work. I could do that. I don't know. We'll see. Play it by ear. But yeah, so that was all my stitching. Let me tell you about my plans, and then I'll show you my socks that I made. I didn't have any purchases. Well, I purchased some stuff, but it didn't come in. So I like to show you guys that when it comes in. So, but I didn't get anything that has come in for the first time in forever. I've been working on my Notion a little bit, trying to get it set up, trying to figure out how the heck it works more efficiently, because I have a Notion and I had it working for me, but it wasn't like the best setup. So I've been working on that, but in the process of that, I was like, oh, I should do like a goals setting thing for each month. So I did already pick my January goals, and I have 3. I decided 3 was a good number. My first goal is to put 3,000 stitches into my Pokemon, like Lord Libidin pattern. It's lagging. It needs some love, and I do want to finish that. And I was just like, well, 3,000 stitches is 600 stitches a week, which to me, I don't think is that bad. I could do that. Honestly, I could do that one day in a good day. I could do that across 2 days. Like I average, I would say about 300 to 600 stitches a day, typically because I wake up at 6 a.m. so that I can cross stitch before work, and my boyfriend thinks that's weird, which it probably is, but I get about 100 to 200 stitches in the morning. On my lunch, I get 100 to 200 stitches, and then my evening stitch about 100 to 200. So I could do that in a day, in a couple days. I could in each week, and I feel like 3,000 stitches is achievable. It's gonna need to ramp up if I want to get like really significant progress, but I want to set my goal at what I think is achievable and then see where I end up, and then that way next month I'll know, like, should I set it higher, should I set it lower? We'll go from there, gauge it. My next goal is I want to finish at least half of page 3 of Pavane, which I just showed you. So I'm almost done with page 2. You can see just this little section, and then I had kind of started into page 3. So I want to finish page 2 and then get like halfway done with page 3. Again, I think that that's pretty achievable if I make sure to focus on this piece. I need to focus on some of my bigger pieces because I want to start more bigger pieces, but I don't want to never finish the bigger pieces. You know what I mean? And then my final goal for January is I want to finish the Be Nicer pattern. Here's where it was the last time I showed you. I haven't worked on it since. And I've only got like 1,000-ish stitches left. I could easily finish that in under a week. So that was kind of like a give me goal. So yeah, those are my 3 goals for January. So that's kind of like plans. They kind of tie into each other. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to do a 12 by 12. I have enough stuff kitted up that I probably could do 12 new starts. I have enough whips that I could do just 12, whatever. I know that the creator of the 12 by 12, I believe, was doing magazine starts. I only have like 2 cross-stitch magazines, so I don't really have like a huge amount of magazine patterns, so I'm not going to do it like that if I do it at all. Oh, and then the other plan is I need to... Oh, I have 2 more plans. This isn't really like a January plan or anything, but over my Christmas break, I'm going to start Meditation Garden by, I think it's Jan Hicks, right? And I got the Miss Seda silks and I have everything and I'm ready to start it. I've just been waiting for like the opportune moment because I want to stitch this one really well, really nice. I want it to be like the best thing I ever stitched because I'm going to enter it into the state fair next year. So I did break up the pattern on my phone here in like the roughest way possible. So this is my, I'm going to stitch this in 5 months plan, I guess. And that's how I broke up the pattern. Maybe it'll go faster, maybe it'll go slower. I don't really know. But the goal is to get it done in 5 months or less so that I have enough time to figure out the framing and then figure out how to enter it into the state fair because I've never done that before. And then who knows, maybe I'll win a ribbon. I don't really know what you win. I just wanted to enter into the fair. When I was a kid, I was always jealous of 4-H kids because I wanted to be in 4-H. So this is my personal brand of 4-H, I guess. And then my other plan, which I told you about last video, is my fabric came in for the 2024 Year in Stitches project that I planned on doing. It's just this like easy grid type, what is it called? This is half a yard of 32 count easy count grid, white gray Lugana, and I believe it's just a Zweigart fabric. And I'm going to, I'll pop up my pattern per se. Like it's not really a pattern, I guess, but I'm at the top, it's just going to say a Year in Stitches in really bold black lettering. And I want to get started in that, although I have an entire year to stitch that part. And then I don't really have to do anything beyond that until the first of the year, where I will start stitching 1 motif a day as like a stitch diary. And we'll see how that goes. But I got the fabric, so, and I put it in a project bag, so you know it's real, it's official, it's happening. So yeah. That's probably something else I'll start on my break. Okay, so that's all the stitching. And if you're interested, I do have a little bit of knitting that I wanted to talk about just because I've been really getting back into knitting. So I blame Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch because she's been talking about knitting like quite a lot, and she even started incorporating more of it on her channel, and I am in love with her. So I was like, I want to get back into knitting. I learned how to knit when I was 11 years old. I am 31 now, so I've been knitting for 20 years. On and off, I would say, and I would call myself an intermediate knitter because I never really went out of my comfort zone. I never knit socks. I never tried color work. I can change colors, but I've never done like intricate color work or anything like that. And I never knit a sweater. And I was like, I want to do all three of those things. I want to do those things. And so I was like, let me start with a sock because that's what Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch was talking about a lot. And I was like, I really want to knit a sock. And it was so easy. Why was I afraid of knitting socks? I have knit plenty of stuff in the round. I knit golf club covers for my dad. That's basically a sock. I knit plenty of stuffed toys. I've knit scarves. I've knit hats. I don't know why I haven't knit those three things. So I made my first pair of socks. I got sock blockers. I blocked them. I was like, wow, this is magic. So now my entire personality is knitting socks. I'd show you, but they are soggy because I washed them, and they are hang drying because I want to wear them to Christmas Eve so I can show my entire family that I made socks. But I just used the Crazy Sock Lays DK weight vanilla sock pattern. Super easy to follow. She also has tons of comprehensive video like footage of her making socks. So it's like if you get stuck somewhere, so easy to just pull up her video. And she shows you like it with DPNs and the magic loop method. Like she's got both. I'm a DPN girly. I don't understand why I would ever use circulars for something that small. It freaks me out a little bit to think about, but that's just me. But yeah, I really enjoyed the process. It was very easy to do. And so I already cast on my second pair. This time I'm doing I did a stripe in the cuff, and then I did a contrasting heel, and I'll do a contrasting toe. And then, I'm just trying to kind of build up to stuff. And then I bought a kit to make Stardew Valley socks for when I get comfortable with color work. I'm going to start with something else for color work though, because I need something smaller to ease myself in. I'm already looking at sweater patterns. I'm just kind of all in on the yarn thing. Oops. But yeah, those were my socks, and they're sparkly and they're fun, and they're fine. They're not the best socks in the world, but I'll get better. And then I've got a sweater pattern that I will probably buy some yarn for here soon and try my hand at making myself a sweater. So I'm really excited about my little knitting journey that I'm going back on. My aunt taught me for my birthday when I was 11, and I still have those knitting needles that she got me. It's so funny. I remember the first thing I made, it was a rainbow scarf in stockinette stitch. And somehow I ended the scarf with so many more stitches than I began it with. But after that, it was pretty smooth sailing. I like knitting. It's really, my boyfriend's like, why are all your hobbies old people hobbies? And I was like, because I'm an old people, okay? And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I've been trying to read the third Court of Thorns and Roses book. It's lost me. I can't focus on it. And I got 2 other books from the library, and then I just got an email that one of my holds is ready. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I gotta read a lot, and that's about it. I don't have any crazy plans for personal life. We're not doing anything big for Christmas. Probably just stay home and watch Christmas movies and stuff like that. So, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. I hope you guys have a good holiday and a safe New Year's and all of that. And I guess I will see you in 2024. Bye.